want to show you how these basics will lead to things further down the road, and we're going to start with lunging. So I've taught the horse how to respond to my body language, how to pick up their energy, go faster, move from physical pressure. So now I think I want to teach my horse how to lunge. So I'm going to keep my hands separate. Again, this is ready to pull out of my hand, not around my hand. When I'm ready to teach my horse how to lunge, I'm going to lead in the direction I'm going, lift with my stick, and if she doesn't move, I'm going to touch her until she goes. Now that she's going, my hands come down. This would be my neutral point. It's important to me that before you move on to these steps, you can do all of the previous steps relaxed with the neck down like this. Good girl. So when I'm ready to ask for trot, I'm going to repeat those steps. I'm going to lead, lift. Here you can see I didn't even have to touch her. What I do want you to notice is how she's shaking her head at me. That can be a sign of the submission lacking. Good girl. I want her to pay attention to me. This horse has had 3 weeks off, which is why we're using her today. I thought maybe she would give us a little more trouble so I could show you how to work through that. But she's being very good. So again, I'm going to lead, lift. So here she's a little bit sassy. So I know when I ride her, she might be a little sassy when I test the forward. So, since I've taught this horse how to give to pressure, good girl, I can use my hand while lunging to soften her head. Good girl. Good girl.
Okay, stop.
Come on, we'll give
There
that
we
up.
go.
So again, when I ask my horse to trot, if she should shake her head like this, I can move my hand on the rope a little bit until she softens to it, which doesn't mean to stop. By moving my hand on the rope, this means soften. And now I have a little bit of trouble to show you. There I moved the rope and she stopped and looked a little sassy. So all I do is keep moving my rope and drive her. I lead with my hand, I move my whip. Good. Once she has given to my hand, I will quit bothering her. Good girl. Here she finally gave. Again, she looked out of the circle. Good girl. This is ultimately what I want when I wiggle my fingers on the rein. I'm going to keep wiggling them here again. There she gave, so I'm really soft. You may have to repeat this many times. Good girl. Until they know it really well. Or on a day where they've been in their stall for 3 weeks with light turnout. Good girl. Now you can see she's getting better. Good. So now when I want to slow my horse down, my hand goes from driving, I bring them together, and I quit moving my feet. See, the horse matches my energy. Good girl. So there we came to walk. When I trot again, I don't know if she's going to shake her head or not, but if she does, I will wiggle my fingers again. So leading, she wiggled her head a little bit sassy. So I keep wiggling the rein. There, good girl. And you can see the change in her top line. Everything got softer. This is just a really basic place to introduce softness. Good, and again, I'm going to bring my energy down. I'm going to stop moving with her. Good. Now let's talk about what happens when your horse doesn't respond to this, or if your horse doesn't know how to respond to this. If I am teaching a horse how to respond to my energy, the first thing I'll do is drop my energy, stop my feet, and if the horse doesn't notice it, I'll yield the hind end, just like I do in my basics, which is why it's important they know it. Good girl. Once they've stopped, My aids are released. Good girl, which she understands. Now I'll send her back out. And I'll see if she will listen to those aids again. I'll retest them. So again, I'll drop my energy, stop moving my feet. You can even say, whoa, whoa. There, she knows that. So she stopped. I release my aids. Good girl. So now I want to change direction. I'm going to switch my hands. So now my right hand has the lead and my left hand has the whip. Good girl. I am going to lead with my right hand, lift with my left hand, swing, and maybe touch. Good. When she does what I asked, I release. Now, I'm okay with her walking off because I aided that, but if I wanted to reverse and stop her, I'd sometimes do that too. So, now we'll see to this side if she's as sassy to the trot. So I'll lead, lift, still a little sassy. So I'm going to wiggle my rope and drive her forward until she doesn't shake her head in the forward. Even if she canters, I keep my aids on. Good girl. Here she released in her top line and her neck. The ears got softer. Good girl. So I'm soft. Good. I try to maintain a steady lead so this doesn't get slack and it isn't tight. It stays the same. I keep my elbow bent so it stays elastic. That way if she pulls on me, I'm not going to fall on my face. My arm will give. Good girl. My knees have a little bend in them. Again, so if she pulls on me, I'm not going to fall on my face. Good girl. Now, I don't always lunge with this short of a rope. This is just to show you guys in a smaller area on camera. You can use a longer lunge line. When I'm teaching this, I like to use a shorter one. Good girl. And now I'm going to drop my, good girl. I dropped my energy down and she responded pretty quickly. Whoa. So, again, I dropped my energy down and she responded and licked her lips. Now, if she had kept walking past me and put me behind the withers where I could be kicked, then I would come and yield the haunches out of my space. I don't ever want to end up, behind the withers. So if she walks past me, come on, and I end up back here. See how she automatically stopped? She knows she's not supposed to put me back here. If your horse walks past you and puts you back here, there's a chance you're going to get kicked. So it's very important in the basics of the groundwork, before you ever lunge the horse, that you can yield their hips away from you. That they respect this is your space here. If you have a horse that kicks, be careful, don't get kicked. Stay in front of the withers while you do this. Okay. Good girl, Coco. All right, so that pretty much explains. So one other thing I'd like to show you guys, because oftentimes you get to a new place and lead your horse around the arena, I want to know you're not going to get stepped on or ran over when that horse decides to spook at something. So I walk my horse and I make sure I am near the ear and the eye. I don't want to end up behind the withers, even if they spook. Whether I'm walking with a stick or the end of the lead rope, I'm going to hold my rope together like this, the excess in my left hand while I'm on the left side. So it's pretty important that if I walk a little more forward, my horse walks a little more forward. If I slow down, my horse slows down. If I want to speed up to the point that I'm trotting, my horse speeds up with me. If I want to stop, here she looked in the mirror and kind of walked past me. So we'll go over that again. If you trot or you walk, when you come back, if your horse keeps walking past you, add a little pressure because you've taught them how to give and back them up. I Now I'll reface this direction. I'm intending to go. Trot again. Walk. So you could see there she was a lot quicker. She still looked out the window, but it's very important she's paying attention to you, because when there's something scary and she's going to look at it and spook and possibly run you over. And you want to know that if you decide to stop and back her up,